continues on here in Ventura, California. As the sun begins to set here in Southern California, it's X Games Ventura 2024, presented by Sonic. As we get set to hand out some hardware here today, we have a packed house here in the stands as well as around the course. It is Samsung Galaxy BMX Street. Hello everyone and welcome inside the booth. I am Jimmy Coleman sitting alongside Scotty Kramer out here today on this journey. And well, Scotty, not to sound like a broken record, but every time we do one of these BMX Street events, we keep talking about Garrett Reynolds and the potential for history being made, and we're in the same situation yet again. Yeah, here we are, and I really think that Garrett is going to be able to do it tonight. I mean, I've known Garrett for such a long time, and what he's done for BMX, he's completely changed it, and especially competition BMX when it comes to street. Garrett has been dominating this for so long, and the fact that he is tied with Shaun White, and all he needs is this one last gold medal to be able to own that record. He's going to make BMX proud, he's going to make New Jersey proud, and I just know that Garrett Reynolds is going to be so proud tonight. But one thing I also want to point out is Garrett Reynolds' mom and his brother are here tonight. They are watching, they are up against the railing cheering for him, and this is going to be epic. Yeah, they're just over our left shoulder right now, ready to see him try to surpass Shaun White's record. Now, of course, Garrett's one to watch for. Let's check in now with Kristen Beat with another member on the list that we should pay attention to out here today. Kristen?
Guys, this is Courage Adams' 4th X Games appearance, but his first here in the U.S. Last year in Japan, he got in off the alternate list, then went on to take home the silver medal. Now, I asked him today how he's approaching this course. He told me, I just need to ride calm and ride like myself. Guys, keep an eye on Courage Adams in his U.S. debut.
Is that as long as he's been coming to X Games, this is his first appearance here on U.S. soil. Yeah, just trying to cut through the red tape and get a visa to get here.
It's the truth. It's very difficult for him, but he made it happen, and we're just so lucky to have him here tonight. He is such an amazing rider. If anybody has ever seen his Instagram and see all the tricks that he has been posting up, like, he does that stuff actually in real life. It's not CGI, I swear.
Well, we talked about history. We have to mention Kevin Peraza, your defending gold medalist. When he took gold in street last year, he too made BMX history at the X Games. He's the only rider in the sport to take gold in dirt, park, and now street.
Yeah, he literally put himself down as like legendary status, especially in like X Games. But Kevin has been around for a while, and he's got such an amazing, unique style, and he brings such an amazing feel to the course whenever he's riding it.
So there's a format change here this year. You get 2 runs, and then there's a jam session. So your best run is half of your score, and then how you fare in the jam session is the other half of the score. We'll dive into that a little bit deeper on, but right now we started off with Jordan Godwin.
Yeah, Jordan Godwin is such an amazing rider. Look at that. To the hangover to crank slide to 360 out. Yeah, he's known in like BMX to be such a technical rider. Like all his street parts, I suggest all of you to go on YouTube, type in his name, and see what you come up with, because he puts so much into every single one of his parts. And I'm so glad he's here at X Games, being able to show us what it's like live.
So you'll get 2 45-second runs to start this off. It's the better of your 2 runs that will count. That will be 1/2 of your score. Jordan just has to hang on for a couple more seconds here.
Oh, wow. Look at that, he switched his feet for that one too. So that was hanger on the left side and then to a right crank arm. But yeah, you see he's riding around left foot forward, so keep an eye on his pedals. He's always switching it. Like I said, left foot forward, up rail to 360. There we go, 182 backwards, crook 180 out. But this time he's got right crank forward, so he's doing hangover to crank to 180 out right there. And that was perfect. He landed everything on that run.
Yeah, the execution was great, and it was right there at the buzzer. Your 2023 Nora Cup Street Rider of the Year. Getting us started with a complete 45-second run. The best possible score you can get in these opening runs. They're judging on a scale of 1 to 50. And then, of course, how you fare in the jam session for best trick. So a 41.33. Remember, the best possible score you can get is 50 now for these runs. You're on a 100-point scale. So this is half of the equation. The best trick is the other half of the equation. We get into that jam session later on as we get set to bring in Suwanee, Georgia's Devon Smillie. His appearance here in Ventura this year, his 11th on-site X Games appearance. He's a 4-time BMX Street medalist.
Devon is such a technical rider. Look at this 2 pegs and then 180 and out there. Yeah, when I was talking to him yesterday, he was looking at the course and he was actually eyeing up the top decks there because a lot of his stuff is based off of doing manuals and connecting his tricks. So he was concerned that, like, you know, the give in the wood. I mean, when you have the concrete, it's perfectly fine. You know exactly how it's going to feel. But let's look at his approach to the course. Like, he is going a completely different route than Jordan Godwin did. He looks at BMX through such a unique lens, and it's so great to have him here at the X Games.
Coming down to the final 10 seconds for this first attempt for Devon.
Wow, look at that. Full cap truck, perfectly clean. He's got such a clean style too. Oh, right at the end, putting that foot down, right at that buzzer.
So when something like that happens right at the buzzer, how much do you think they'll ding you for that?
That's a good question. If my brother was on the line right now, we can ask him since he is a judge this year. But you know, it's definitely going to hurt the score. I think, like, while the trick's like being attempted, if the buzzer goes off, I think it still counts. So it's definitely something that could hurt you at the end of it. But looking at these replays, look at that. Switch pegs up, 180 out, and then the full cab truck into that bank. So smooth.
Looking at that last replay, the super cool look with our Samsung Ultra View. So at 37 for Devon here for his first run. Remember, this opening round, you're going to get 2 runs. It's the better of your 2 runs that count here. And then we get into the jam session. That is brand new here to BMX Street this year at the X Games. And we talked about him at the top of the show. This is Courage Adams making his first U.
This is Lewis Mills.
Sorry, I jumped ahead of myself there. I got overexcited. Lewis Mills from Australia.
Oh my goodness, he is so good. Like, just doing the craziest tricks that you wouldn't expect. Like the way he's able to pop bar spins out, the way he's able to pop 180s out, and he's such a big rider. Like when I see him like next to me on the bike, I'm like, this guy is huge, but it makes sense the way he's able to like handle that bike. He's so strong, and right now he's got such a good run going. And I feel like momentum's really big for Lewis Mills. Like when he gets a good course, like he's able to, you know, really feed into, you know, his opening tricks, and then that just keeps him flowing through the rest of it. And so far so good. Like that tail whip that like his feet came off on, like he landed the tail. He was going to readjust his feet, and then they slipped off. So I'm hoping the judges don't go too hard on him for that one, because that really wasn't the trick that he messed up. It was him like refixing his feet. But look at that ice pick grind across that 40-foot long rainbow rail, and then popping over. And then right here doing over pegs, and then spinning out of that one. Oh, that was a really good run for Lewis.
He owns 2 medals in this event. One of them just so happens to be a gold. One of the few people to have ever beaten Garrett Reynolds in this event. So he'll clock in with a 27 there. That'll put him in the number 3 spot. As of right now, he owns 1 gold. He earned a silver as a rookie at X Games Sydney in 2018. Now we take our first look at Courage Adams. And as we said at the top of the show, he's appeared at X Games multiple times, but his first on-site appearance here in the United States.
Oh, it's so good to have him out here. So excited that he gets to be a part of it. But look at the speed he's bringing to all this. Locking in his signature nose manual to bar spin. Oh, it's crazy. He can do that consistently. I mean, I've said it before. He's actually done tricks. Majority of his tricks that he posts up, they won't even fit in the next game's run. That's how long they are, because he links them all together. But look at this. His approach to this course. Oh, my goodness.
That long nose manual.
That's impossible, Jimmy. That's not supposed to happen.
It just did.
What a run so far from Courage. And like I just keep on saying it, like we are just so lucky to have him here. Oh,
right
that
there.
was
like
crazy.
5 seconds left to go over the sunglass feature, and you're going to flat at that point.
And do you see how narrow that was? To have the confidence to be able to spin through those sunglasses, that's crazy stuff right there. Look at that over ice pick when he did that bar spin. And here's that signature nose manual to bar spin. And look at this manual popping up to 360. Like being able to get that kind of pop out of a manual is nuts. And this combination too, nose across the deck, going to pegs, doing the bar spin out. One thing I also want to point out is how windy it is on this course. So balancing nose wheelies and manuals, that is no joke.
So he gets a 21.66. So that'll slide him in that number 4 position here in this opening round. So here at Samsung Galaxy BMX Street, this is how we're doing it in 2024. They get 2 full runs. They're 45 seconds in length, and as I've mentioned before, they're working off of that 50-point scale. Now, one of those, the best run counts, then you get into the best trick jam. It's a 12-minute jam session, and the max score you can get there is 50. So they're taking your best trick out of the best trick jam session, and then your best run. Combine those 2 scores together, and the best total score overall you can possibly get is 100. As we look at Felix Prangenberg from Cologne, Germany, real BMX 2021 gold medalist. He owns 4 total X Games medals.
Felix is so many people's favorite rider. I mean, a lot of the guys on this course, they're just obsessed with watching this dude ride because he is just, he's got an original style. And I'm going to say it a lot because all these guys, they kind of put their own signature touch on it. But look at that. He just did a full cab whip on that bank right there. And look at the speed he's bringing. Now, what's crazy is he was telling me right before the competition, he's like, yeah, I ended up rolling my ankle pretty bad. But look at this. Like, you would have had no idea at all.
No, he doesn't appear to be fazed by that at all.
Not one bit. Oh, that 540. Oh, no. Oh.
There he has to step off with just under 10 seconds left. Again, 2 runs, best run counts.
Wow, that was such a great run. He had so many original tricks on that. Look, here's a 540 bar spin. That is something you'd expect to see like almost in a park, but this is the one I got really excited about. That is the full cap 360 tail whip. Crazy how much pop he can get out of that bank.
So the fans are weighing in early on here, Scotty. Let's go, Felix. He owns 3 silvers in this event. See what the judges say at 19.33. So yeah, having to step off there with some time left on the clock, that definitely hurts. So we get set to take our first look here at Boyd Hilder, who took gold in this event at X Games Japan. Before we drop him, let's check in with Kristen B.
Thanks, Jimmy. Just a moment ago, I checked in with Boyd and I asked him what part of this course excites you the most. Where are we going to see the big one? He said he really likes the wall. I'm waiting for when he hits it, guys. There we go.
Wow, and just like that, curve wall ride the bar. So the first rider that we've seen fly around that. Love curve wall rides in BMX, especially on a street course, like at a competition level like X Games. It brings such cool originality. Oh, so he like landed that trick. Like I know it wasn't as clean, and the judges, you know, are definitely going to deduct for that, but I'm glad he was able to keep momentum. So Boyd, you can see his style is different than the rest. He is someone who is able to ride everything. He rides dirt, park. He's actually riding park here at this X Games. And yeah, he's got these crazy tricks that he's able to incorporate into his run with speed.
Yeah, he's in 3 events this week. It's street, park, best trick. Also holds down a full-time day job back in Australia. We take another look here from the Samsung Ultra View.
Yeah, awesome switch hanger across that VW bus. Here's the 182 backwards crook to 180 out.
Yeah, if you're looking at that bus at home, you're like, oh, what a great prop. No, that thing's rideable. The roof rack, that's actually a rideable rail. Yeah. It's part of the equation out here.
It's not a legal park or a VIP parking situation here.
You're not getting towed out here in Ventura. That is a rideable feature. Some fans weighing in again. Boyd is him again, takes the gold in X Games Japan 2023. Again, a very short list of people to have ever beaten Garrett Reynolds in this event. Speaking of which, he is due up next. But before, let's get to know Garrett Reynolds a little bit more in this Pacifico. Discover more.
My name is Garrett Reynolds. I'm from Toms River, New Jersey, and I live in San Diego, California.
Garrett Reynolds is the GOAT.
Me and Shaun White are currently tied for the most X Games gold medals.
Garrett Reynolds is on the verge of making X Games history.
It would be nice to just put it to bed so I don't have to hear it anymore when I'm trying to ride a contest.
He could surpass Shaun White for all-time X Games gold.
I feel like I'm pretty good at dealing with pressure, but it can add a little bit of extra stress.
It comes down to this last run here. Can Garrett Reynolds get it done?
BMX to me was never like a super competitive sport. It's always about pushing yourself and getting that feeling of doing something that you don't know if you can do, and there's nothing else like it.
Oh, no. It's not going to happen for Garrett Reynolds.
At the end of the day, it's like I really just try to do the best I can. You can always live with trying your best. There's no shame in that.
this is far from over. And he's been the best. He's won this thing 13 times. Those other 2 medals to round out the field at 15, he got those in real street. So again, another thing to point out for him, he's never not medaled. Even when he didn't take gold, he's never missed a podium in the history of this event at the X Games.
Yeah, I always say that Garrett is the most talented rider to ever touch a BMX bike. Like what he's able to do consistently, I mean, that's the reason why he's got these gold medals, but I'm feeling this one, Jimmy. I think tonight could be the night for Garrett. Look at that, doing that nollie, like a 540 bar over the hip. It keeps it going. Had to do a couple little Jersey hops, but that's okay. He's from Jersey, you expect that. Not from Garrett, to be honest with you, but he's not gonna be happy about it. I'll poke fun out of it. But look at the combinations and the speed for it all. Nice over crank arm. Such a clean downside whips from Garrett. Nice 180 to inward backward Smith. Nice hanger 180 bar spin. But you do notice how many tricks he's doing, Jimmy?
I was going to say, he just packs so many tricks into the run, and it's so methodical.
That was a close call. That was a very close call.
About to shut it down. The fans are weighing in. Dexby weighing in. We'll see. I mean, the 2-run portion is just half of the equation with the format change this year. We still have the best trick portion, but he's certainly getting the first half of the equation done in round 1.
Yeah, so there's a couple close calls, and I know, and like I said, when he had to do the Jersey hops and stuff, like, it's definitely not something that Garrett would be totally proud of, and he'd be the first one to say that. But like even right there, when he did that 180 out, you know, it just shows how talented he is. He was able to correct the bike and ride away from it. So I'm glad he got a full pull though.
Jordan Godwin, who went first, that 41.33 has held up thus far here. We have Kevin Peraza to go, then we go back up to the top of the order. Everybody gets one more 45-second run, and then we go into the best trick jam session. So a 38.33 is gonna slide him into that #2 spot right now. So maybe a couple of deductions for those close calls that he had there,
yeah,
that you were talking about.
Like I was saying, like I know he wasn't so proud of it, but he did do a full pull, and that just goes to like show exactly how talented this dude is and the reason why he's got so many medals.
So that brings up your defending gold medalist, who we mentioned at the top of the show, made history last year, the only BMX rider to take gold in dirt, park, and now street. This is Tucson, Arizona's Kevin Peraza.
Kevin's got his wife and baby on the course, like right on the deck right there. So it's pretty cool that they're here to witness this. And Kevin is such a good rider.
Again, watch the speed, watch the flow. Yep. Look how fast he goes through this course.
Watch the smile on his face, because that will be there the whole time too.
There's that as well. Just like always having the best time out there.
Yeah, it's the truth. But yeah, you know, this is like exactly what we expect from Kevin, right? You know, he has just the ability to incorporate so many different lines and so much speed. And like, I love how he puts that flare in his run. Oh, that was awesome.
Yes. The hits just keep coming. I mean, he's literally tricking off at everything that he possibly can.
Oh, the 180 whip. Yes, and he saves it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's crazy. Such a good run.
Turns around to look back at the fans.
So I like how they have these quarter pipes, you know, to give these guys the ability to get speed and to be able to keep things going. But look what he does with it. Straight into pegs, hard 360 out of it. And then there's that flare we were talking about. So
on
like a lot of street riders,
transition.
Like street riders, like they want to see more street style stuff, but it's Kevin. This is what you expect. You want him to do a flare.
And right
that's not
out of
gonna
that,
be yeah.
He hops up on that Jersey berry on the tire.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's a connection trick. That wasn't the trick, the flare. That's just something to show Kevin and puts his stamp on it.
Bacon Shredder says, always great to see Kevin ride. Dude shreds. Yes, he does, and that's why he got a gold medal in this event last year. We'll see what the judges think of this first outing. I mean, just how he links everything up and how quick it happened. I mean, the amount of space that he had out of that flare onto that Jersey barrier was insane.
Yeah.
So we're waiting to see the score here for Kevin Peraza. We'll have round #2 here of the time runs when we come back to X Games Ventura 2024, presented by Sonic.
X Games Ventura is presented by Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic. And brought to you by
the Samsung Galaxy S24 series.
Going 3 900s right now. 1.
It's like, yeah, here's my best trick.
2.
He's at 1800.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
Here we go. History in the making.
How did it feel landing the back-to-back-to-back 900s in front of Tony Hawk?
トニーホークの前に900人まで背中合わせに着地するのはどう感じましたか？
トニーホークの前で9参加のやつを決めれてとても嬉しかったです。
I was really happy to land the consecutive 900s in front of Tony Hawk.
Yes! Back to back to back.
Are you having fun?
楽しんでますか？
はい。
I know what that one
Yes.
means. Are you kidding, mate? Crikeys, that was unbelievable. Bloody hell, I'll watch that again.
Does this thing translate Australian? Because I have no idea what it just said.
An amazing piece of technology to instantly translate like that. And happy to see that young man earlier in skateboard vert as well. But here, the Samsung Galaxy BMX Street, we've got a battle that's just been brewing. We've completed one round of runs, and it's Jordan Godwin sitting in the top spot right now with a 41.33. We have a second round of runs to go. Best run that counts. That's half of the equation. That's how you get one half of your score. The other half of your score, we still have a best trick portion to sort out before we hand out some medals. So your current leader, Jordan Godwin, back in for his second and final timed run.
He had such an amazing first run. It's like, what does he do now? Like, he's got so many tricks and so many, oh, look at that. Crank 180 bar spin. This dude is no joke, and I want you to keep an eye on his feet. See, left foot forward. He will switch it though. He switches his feet all the time. This is unbelievable how he's just doing his tricks. These stuff that you see in video part that you think would take him 100 tries. Like, he's landing it all first try. And there's so many different kind of tricks too. Like, doing these combinations over and over again, especially in a run format at X Games, when you have 45 seconds, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, to try to get around and use all of the features available on this course and compact all that into a 45-second run. He's had 2 great outings out here. The best possible score you can get here in the time run, 50 points. The better of your 2 will be kept from this round, and then the better attempt over in the best trick portion will be totaled with this best score.
But he just did it again. Like,
yeah.
He had the highest score with that first run, and he just did it again.
The first guy to drop in the competition, and then he puts on that 41.33 that holds up, and he's done another great run.
But look at this work here. So doing that snaggle tooth over that rail right there, that's when you take off on one side of the rail and you put your front peg and you're grinding on the opposite side of the rail. So technical.
41.33, what do you think? Is it going to be better?
It could be. It could be. I don't remember every single aspect of his run. And you have to understand me for that because it was so technical. You know, it's really
there's
difficult.
a lot going on in 45 seconds to try to replay in your mind.
It really is. So, yeah, all these little things that these judges have to take into consideration. But, yeah, he landed it all again. There's nothing that I remember that he messed up at all. So I'm super curious to see what this is.
So now that first run score is going to be the one that sticks, but now, I mean, a 41 and a 41.33. I mean, that's a great outing for the first half of this contest.
That's 3 points over what Garrett Reynolds, you know, who was the GOAT of this one, got. So it's insane, the consistency that Jordan Godwin just put down.
Okay, so he'll stick with that first run score. Looking to move on into the best trick portion. Devon Smillie sitting in that number 3 spot as of right now. Just a little over a point behind Garrett Reynolds.
And he's starting things off with such a cool combination. Up rail to 180, fakie to pegs, hopping over. Nice 360, bonking off of that jersey barrier right there.
Bacon shredders all over the chat out here. These athletes taking BMX to a whole new level. Much respect. Just a tough break there for Devon. So going to have to go with that first run score of 37.
Which is a really good score as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him doing that in practice. He was going for the 180 to over switch backwards pegs.
Yeah, so a tough break here in run 2, but that 37 from round 1 is, it's good enough for third as of right now when we get into the best trick portion of things. Obviously, you want to bump it up here in that second round, but that is a respectable first run score for sure. 4 total medals in this event for Devon. He owns 2 silver and 2 bronze. As you see the sun beginning to set in the background over there. What an epic backdrop out here, right on the beach. Second year for X Games out here at the Ventura County Fairgrounds. We get set to bring in Lewis Mills. He's 2 spots outside of podium contention right now, sitting in that number 5 spot.
Sending that ice across that 40-foot.
See how fast he did that?
Everything is just fast with the way he rides. Look at Barspin, the ice big hop over. Nice switch hanger across the jersey barrier. Yeah, really good speed that Lewis is bringing. Nice Smith nose bar. Tail it back down. Oh, that was so sick. He just did that 180 and then full cap over that chain. Over switch pegs 180. Oh, surviving that half cap right there. That was manual 180. Finishing off a little early there.
Just 3 seconds, calling a little early. Feeling, hey, I'm pretty happy about that.
And look at that ice pick grind though, all the way across 40 feet. Like literally touched every last bit of that thing.
That was so smooth. He wasn't fighting through that at all. He just was gliding across that rail.
Yeah. You know, that's just a switch pegs that he's using to set up, but here's another switch pegs. So he's going over to a switch pegs and a 180 out. And that's where he was able to survive that half cap. It looked like he was like kind of aiming towards that hip, but when you're coming backwards out of a rail, it's hard to line up right.
See what this does to that 27 that he had the first time out. It's got him sitting in that 5th place spot. We mentioned earlier, he does own a gold in this event. He got that at X Games Chiba in 2022. Also earned silver as a rookie at X Games Sydney back in 2018. Look at that. Look at that chat right there. Style for days.
It's the truth, though. Can't argue that one.
I'm still trying to process that ice pick.
It should be ice pick for days.
Yeah, I mean, that rainbow rail is huge. He just went all the way across the thing, no problem.
Yeah, he did it twice.
And got every last bit of it.
Really taking a while for the score to come in on this one, so I think there's a lot of what the judges are going over, you know, comparing, you know, to the first run. Wow.
So a 36.66, so this will be an improvement for Lewis. That'll bump him up 1 spot. He'll go into the number 4 position as we get set to take another look at Courage Adams on the right. Take a look at his workout routine over here on the left.
It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
On the trampoline, with the flip out, Courage Adams currently sitting in that number 7 spot, looking to bump up from that 21.66.
His run was crazy. He had one mess up towards the end of it, but so right there, he did the bar spin out of that the first time around. Like I said, like to be able to do that twice in a row, like wouldn't seem humanly possible. So he still knows with it all the way across.
He almost ran out of room going into that manual line up on the
drop
deck.
It to manual, to pegs, to bar spin. So yeah, he had to switch things up, but that's okay though. He could still do this and get a good score. If he gets this 540, that's where the things went, you know, really wrong for him with this run. So this 540 right here, if he tries this one again, oh, switch it for a truck, and look at the bars. The bars gave out. You can see how far forward they are right now. Yeah. He's just cruising around.
Those bars went Chicago style right there.
They did. Well, it's good. You know, a lot of people when the bars move like that, you got to realize that that's what's saving the rider is that give right there. So something's got to give, and it's okay if the stem slips a little bit there. It's designed to, it honestly is. But look at this beautiful pop out of that manual, getting that 360 around. And here's where the bars are going to move. Oh, yeah. You could even hear the creak sound when it happened.
Great shot of that with the Samsung Ultra View. So a 21.66, he gets a 27.33. So an improvement here. In this opening part, 2 timed runs, the better of your 2 count, best possible score of a 50. Then we get into the best trick portion here. So we welcome back in Cologne, Germany's Felix Prangenberg.
So Felix had a really good run in the first time. I brought up the fact that he had a rolled ankle, but like he's riding so strong. I mean, oh, beautiful. Look at this. Can he get that 3-whip? Yes, he did it again. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that trick right there. It's so stylish, the way that the bike spins in and spins out. So over 2-3 back over. I consider that one of the hardest tricks. Like, I mean, you don't even understand. I might have, But like, yeah, if he would have got that line though with that toothpick back over and then go straight into that 540, that would have been a huge score. But here's that 540 bar spin again that he did in his run. Such a well-rounded rider with so many tricks. I love that 180 tooth. It's a 360 tooth technically, but you stop at the 180 and you hit it. It's kind of almost like a backwards tooth in a way.
So the first time out, he had a 19.33. It has him in 8th as of right now. So he will improve the score at 21.66, but it won't improve the placing at this point in the competition. Is Boyd Hilder you're looking at. Got a gold medal in this event at his X Games debut at X Games Japan last year. Entered the field as an alternate at that event. Ended up starting off the competition, putting up a huge score, and it held up to get him gold.
Man, I thought you would say that one for the best trick, but he just did a switch tooth hanger to bar spin out. He saved it, he kept it alive, and he's still flowing right now. He's doing a lot of tricks to flat. Like, he's been landing more abrupt than anybody else in this contest today. And there's a risk and a reward for that for sure. 180 backwards, crooked 180. Tail, I think it almost looked like he was using that pole jam, but it's hard to see from this angle.
Oh, that was I thought he was going over the bars.
I think even he did.
Like, how in the world did Boyd Hilder hang onto that?
Insane. That was really scary.
Wowzers.
But look at, here's that curve wall ride, bar spin out. 360 to flat. And I was saying he's landing abrupt. He's probably gonna feel it tomorrow. But there's that bar spin and the front end started coming down. Oh my goodness.
I can't believe it did that. I hopped down my, I've got nothing.
Yeah. There you go. We don't need to tell you. There's the explanation right there.
I hopped down my arm, got no energy.
Yeah, that was.
I just wanted to hear what he had to say at that point.
That would have been that wouldn't have been a fun crash at all.
Well, good save, Boyd Hilder. So he's going to jump up the score with a 30.
Nice.
So that'll be his better of the 2. We keep telling the story, and we're going to tell it again because it's worth repeating. Garrett Reynolds sitting in that number 2 spot right now. If he's able to walk out of here with another gold, he will surpass Sean Wyatt.
He had to step off on that one.
And I jinxed him.
Well, it's not even that. We got to talk about it, right? Like
we
it's
do.
Something. I know he's sick of hearing it. He told us that.
But it's such an insane feat. And to think about that he's done it all pretty much in one single event.
It really, no matter what, it was single event. Think about it. Sean did it on a skateboard and a snowboard.
Yeah, he's got a skateboard vert gold medal in there, but also in 2 different disciplines.
Yes.
Snowboarding. This is all, I mean, 13 of the 15 are all in this event for Garrett.
Yeah, and like the other one, it was just the video version of this event, you know what I mean? So
to me, that's the same thing.
It is, it really is, and it just goes to show just how amazing of a rider Garrett is. And so
it's crazy now to look at this and see that he's the oldest rider on the roster at 33. When you rewind back to 2008, he's like fresh out of high school. He won the first 6 events before Chad Curley unseated him in LA in 2013.
Yeah, like we were looking at the list in front of us and it almost looks like a typo. It's just over and over again on there. But yeah, we're gonna look at this bail here with Garrett and we'll talk about what went wrong. So you can see he jumps the pegs and he goes to spin out of it, but his back wheel actually hit the rail and actually It's when the tire bites on the rail, so while you're spinning, because that hard 360, the reason why they call it hard is because you're spinning off of it, and you have to clear it with your back wheel, so it's really difficult to do, and it's a huge trick. It would have definitely put a exclamation point on the end of the run.
And there's still a lot still to come. I mean, he's in second place right now, so that last run, he throws that one out. We still have the best trick portion to get into, which is 50% of your score here tonight. So this is far, far from over. So we bring back in your defending gold medalist from last year, Kevin Peraza.
Yeah, I really liked Kevin's first run. There's a couple things that, you know, he could clean up a little bit, but it really wasn't too bad at all. I love his flow off of that one. I know his foot came off a little bit. Not the end of the world, though. Didn't hit the ground or anything. Just wasn't as perfect as we're used to seeing Kevin. That's not a problem, though. He ain't worried. He's here to have a good time. Flare.
Oh, are you kidding me?
That was crazy. Flare to fakie, and then doing the half cap in perfectly. It's like so stylish, so in control.
Wow. Ooh. And then takes that one to flat.
Oh yeah, switch 180 in that downside tail whip. That would have been huge.
Yeah, he sits just a couple of tenths of a point behind Lewis Mills. He's in that number 5 spot.
Yeah, he's not in a bad place at all, especially going into this new format with the best trick. But check this out, Flare landing backwards, and he has to time that perfectly to jump back into that quarter pipe right there.
So a 36.33 for him that first time out. So obviously with the step off, the 22 is going to be the throwaway for him, and it's going to leave him in 5th place as of right now. So 1/2 of the competition is in the books. As we've said multiple times, there's a format change for this year. It's the better of your 2 runs, and then we go into a best trick format to comprise the other half of your score. But as of right now, it is Jordan Godwin, the first rider in, sitting in the top spot with a 41.33. We've still got plenty more to come. We've got the best trick portion from Samsung Galaxy BMX Street when we return here to Ventura, California.